Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is having a great week so far. Today, we're going to get back into football. We're going to talk about the last game of the season, the Super Bowl. This is going to be a great game. It's a rematch of the 2019 Super Bowl, and we're going to do it again this Sunday in 2024. For the 49ers, at some point, their head coach, Kyle Shanahan, is going to have to win one of these games. He was the Falcons' offensive coordinator when they blew the 28-3 lead in that Super Bowl against the Patriots. And he was also the San Francisco 49ers head coach in 2019 when they played Kansas City in the Super Bowl. And they ended up losing 31-20. And they were at halftime with the lead. So at some point, we know that Kyle Shanahan is eventually going to have to win one of these games. We know who Kyle Shanahan's dad is, Mike Shanahan, who used to coach the Washington Commanders. We know that the Shanahan family is pretty good at what they do, and that's coaching these guys. But Kyle Shanahan, like I said, you're going to have to win one of these games. Kyle Shanahan's an offensive genius. I mean, he's a wizard on offense, but you got to make sure that when you guys get a lead, you can hold it. And unlike the Detroit game, you also have to make sure your team is ready to go right out the gates. Because if not, and you do what you did against Detroit in the first half against Kansas City, you're not going to win on Sunday either. So Kyle Shanahan also has to make sure he has his guys ready to go and make sure that if they get a lead, they don't blow it. On the flip side of that, you have Andy Reid, who's been there, done that, head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. We know Andy was with the Philadelphia Eagles. They played Tom Brady in the playoffs in the Super Bowl, and he lost. But since that point in time, Andy Reid has gone on to win 2 Super Bowls, and he might win 3 by Sunday night. So Andy Reid, we know he's a genius of a wizard on offense, of course. We know he's going to call a great game with Matt Nagy, offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. So my concern is not Andy Reid. My concern is Kyle Shanahan. So you have Kyle Shanahan versus Andy Reid. If you ask me who I was more concerned about going into this game, coaching-wise, I would say Kyle Shanahan, because when he's got on the biggest stage, he has not been able to deliver. So my concern would go with Kyle Shanahan. Andy Reid's been there, done that. I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about the Chiefs. I want to give you guys some defensive statistics. Kansas City, in their 3 playoff games that they played, Kansas City beat the Dolphins 26-7. That was in the snow game. If you only give up 7 points, that's really great defense. Now, in the Kansas City Chiefs game, if they played against the Bills, it was 27-24. Obviously, that was the shootout between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, so we know that game was going to be high scoring. When the Kansas City Chiefs went up against the Baltimore Ravens, the score was 17-10. You give up 10 points to a Lamar Jackson team, that's phenomenal. Kansas City has been a great defensive team all year long. In total defense, Kansas City ranked 2nd. In total defense, the 49ers ranked 8th. So that's good on both sides. Here's the difference. On passing defense, Kansas City ranked 4th. And the 49ers ranked 14th. That's a 10-point swing right there in passing defense, as Kansas City ranked 4th and the 49ers ranked 14th. We know what Patrick Mahomes can do when he needs to throw the ball. So the 49ers ranking 14th on that, that's a huge concern alone right there that I'm concerned about with them. On rushing defense, the 49ers ranked 3rd. Kansas City ranked 17th. My concern with KC on that part is you rank 17th on the rushing defense, and you have a guy named CMC for the 49ers named Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. and Kyle Juszczyk, guys who love to run the ball and can run the ball effectively, and you ranked 17th on rushing defense, I'm very, very concerned about that with the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, you're not going to be able to stop Christian McCaffrey because we know who Christian McCaffrey is and we know what he does well. You can try to contain him, and you probably won't. You probably honestly won't even be able to contain him either. You won't be able to stop him or contain him. So that's a concern on my part for Kansas City. Scoring defense, Kansas City was second, and the 49ers were right behind them in third. Kansas City allowed 17.3 points per game, and the 49ers allowed 17.5 points per game. Scoring defense, both teams phenomenal, right behind each other, second and third. So we know that it's going to be tough to score against both of these teams. In red zone defense, Kansas City wasn't too bad. They were in eighth, 8 spots down in the red zone defense. The 49ers were in 16th. So if Kansas City is close to the red zone, they're probably going to score, and it's probably going to be hard for the 49ers to stop Kansas City when they get near the red zone, as it is for every team to stop Kansas City when they get near the red zone. So the 49ers won't be the only team to might struggle trying to stop the Kansas City Chiefs in the red zone. Third down defense was concerning for both teams. Kansas City was a little bit better. They ranked 10th in third down defense, and the 49ers ranked 23rd in third down defense. So my concern with the 49ers on that is you rank 23rd on third down defense. We know how clutch Patrick Mahomes is, especially on third down. He's going to make a play even when you think he doesn't. It could be 3rd and 23. He's going to make a play. So that's a huge concern that I have for the 49ers. Can they contain Patrick Mahomes on third down and keep him off the field on third down? The 49ers ranked second in interceptions. They created 22 interceptions this year. Their defense, that was good for second. That's key. Kansas City was at the bottom. They ranked 29th, and their defense only created 8 interceptions. That's a huge concern. So if the 49ers could create some interceptions and get Patrick Mahomes to turn the ball over, which Patrick Mahomes so rarely does, that'd be a huge plus for the 49ers. Kansas City ranked second in sacks on the year, and the 49ers ranked 7th in sacks on the year. So that's pretty good. On the defensive side of things for the 49ers, in their 2 playoff games, they played against the Packers. The score ended up being 24-21. Obviously, 21's not bad, but you might want to hold a team under that. Now, obviously, this is worse. When the 49ers went up against Detroit, it was 34-31. 31 points is way too many points. That's not good. That's 10 more points than what they allowed to the Green Bay Packers. Steve Wilks, the 49ers defensive coordinator, called out his defense about 2 days ago, saying that their defense against Detroit, even though they won, was unacceptable. But what were they up by, down by at halftime? 24-7. Giving up 24 points in the first half is not good. Their second half defense was better. Obviously, Detroit only scored 31, so their second half defense was better, but their first half defense wasn't. And Steve Wilks was not happy about that, and he called out his defense on that. He called it unacceptable and embarrassing, and Steve Wilks also questioned his defensive guys' effort in that game. Now, that could be good or bad if a defensive coordinator is calling his guys out. That could be good or bad. Let me tell you why it could be good. It could be good because it might wake his defense up to say, okay, coach called us out. We need to obviously play better on defense. But it can be bad because you're going into the Super Bowl. Your defensive coordinator is calling your defense unacceptable, embarrassing, and questioning y'all effort. That's the bad part about it. So it's both and both. It could be good and it could be bad. Obviously, in my opinion, I think that it's bad because you going into the Super Bowl and your effort is getting questioned on defense and your coach is calling it embarrassing and unacceptable. To me, in my eyes, that's not good. So that's concerning alone. And on the flip side, when you have Steve Sarkisian the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, who's called a great game all year for his team. And this is actually the best defense that Patrick Mahomes has had in his career since he's been in Kansas City. And he's already won 2 Super Bowls, and his defense was middle of the pack. He might win a 3rd Super Bowl, and his defense was ranked 2nd all year. That's pretty big. Obviously, the guys on defense for the 49ers, you got the Eric Armsteads, the Nick Bosa's, the Chase Youngs, the Sebastian Joseph Days, the Randy Gregory, the Dre Greenlaws, the Fred Warners, Tre'Davious Ward. Those guys on the 49ers defense are going to be huge, huge, huge. All those guys that I just named are going to have to play a part in trying to stop the Kansas City Chiefs offense. For the Chiefs defensive side of things, the players Malik Hearing, Felix Ozama, George Karlaftis, B.J. Thompson, Nick Bolton, Chris Jones, Willie Gay, Justin Reed, L'Jarius Sneed. All those defensive guys for the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be huge. We know that the offense for both teams are going to do their thing. We know Patrick Mahomes is going to do his thing. We know Isaiah Pacheco is going to run the ball through these guys' throat along with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We know that Travis Kelce is going to show up for all you Swifties out there. We know Rashee Rice should have a great game. If we know MBS, Marquez Valdes-Scantling is going to step up. It'd be a question if Kadarius Toney plays in this game. He hasn't played none through this postseason run for the Chiefs. Obviously, that's concerning along. We know he had issues catching the ball. And we know the play he made stepping over the offensive line of scrimmage. With the 49ers offense, we know Brock Purdy is going to come out and have a good game. But this is a huge game for Brock Purdy. So the pressure's on you to finish this thing off. So the question with Brock Purdy is, can you do it? We know what Patrick Mahomes already going to give us, so that's not a question for him. CMC, as I mentioned, Christian McCaffrey, we know he's going to run the ball and he's going to catch some balls. We know Deebo Samuel's going to give it all he's got. He's going to have a great game, no question about it. We know Brandon Ayuk's going to go out there and ball. We know that George Kittle, tight end, is going to go out there and do his thing. George Kittle and Travis Kelce are the 2 best tight ends in the league. No question about it. We know both of those tight ends for both of their respective teams are going to ball out. Jawan Jennings is going to have a great game. The thing about this is, we know the offense is going to be good on both sides of the ball. It's going to come down to who gets the stop on defense. Keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. Keep Brock Purdy and the 49ers offense off the field. That's it. Whoever does that is going to win the game. I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win this game. Doubting Patrick Mahomes is like doubting Tom Brady. You doubt Tom Brady, he's going to kill you. You doubt Patrick Mahomes, he's going to kill you. I can't put anything past Patrick Mahomes. I cannot doubt him because I know if I do, he's going to win. So I'm not doubting him. I'm riding with him till the wheels fall off. And that's what I have. The score might end up being like, to me, 30-27. 30-27, I think the score might be to this game. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a good time. All we want to see is just a great game. We want to see a close game that comes right down to the last drive. That's all we want to see. We don't want to see no blowout like in the 2020 Super Bowl when Tom Brady blew out Kansas City. We don't want to see no blowout. We want to see a great, close game. And another thing, watch the referees, both teams. Watch the referees. Nick Bosa mentioned that the offensive line for the Chiefs holds a lot. So watch out for the referees in this game too. With that being said, that's my Super Bowl predictions. That's all I have for you guys today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me guys know who you think might make it into this. Or excuse me, let me know who you guys think will win the Super Bowl, I should say. Till then, I will catch you guys later.